So happy to be joined by Nathan Willett,
Uh-huh.
lead singer and co-founder of Cold War Kids.
Yes, sir.
So this is the last stop on your tour. By the time people see this, the tour's over.
Yep.
But what has it been like so far?
Man, this was actually probably the longest single tour we've ever done, 43 shows. Um, we've toured so much, but they always go into another thing. This is the most solid, all with Young the Giant. So it was really, really good. But ready for a break?
Of course. So what was it like, obviously, growing up, starting a band out in California, being signed and all that? What was it like in the early days, touring, getting your name out for yourself, name recognition,
Yeah.
obviously working with other people because you weren't a solo artist. You're in a
Yeah.
band, so you got tons of things going on. What was that experience like?
It was awesome. We had a really kind of like a from college, a group of friends, and before and after, kind of like we had this big group of people that were all in the same place in life, kind of like just starting to look for work, but like would come to shows, would hang out, would go to part like we kind of have this built-in little scene, and that like in hindsight, like I don't know how we would have done it if it weren't for that because uh, that propelled us. I think that gave us so much like you know, even if it's the same, 30 people that are at different shows at backyard parties or at a bar or whatever, that feeling that where you are it's important and your friends are there and they're not, you know, thinking about you trying to start a career or something. They're just like happy you're playing music and it's fun and like I think that sort of gave us the ability to just write and perform and learn how to do those things without uh, I don't know, trying to find who our audience was right away. It's just like we play to these people; these are our friends, and like I can't emphasize enough that is a if you have that, or if you have that in your circle of friends or whatever, like that is priceless. Yeah.
Amen. Um, and then what would you say to somebody young in college? Because that's obviously kind of how you grew out with your music career. What would you tell younger people in college trying to break out in the entertainment industry during AI?
Man, um, you know, I guess everything has to start small, like everything that you do. I think that when you get to thinking big and is very is obviously you need ambition and you need to feel like you want to really like do whatever it takes, but also yeah, you don't get there all in a day or all in a year or all in many years. You just keep doing it, and I think there's something about knowing that if this is your calling, if this is the thing that really speaks to you, um, you will have highs and lows. You will question whether or not this is the right life path for you. You will do all those things no matter what you do. I think because my parents were teachers, and I started doing my teaching credential and all this stuff. I was an English literature major, and it was I was kind of almost done. I had done my student teaching. I'd done all this stuff, and it was right at the end of that where I was like, even even if I get a job teaching, and which I already kind of knew I was like a little bit like betraying my own desire to really work on music as a life path, but like I think I also realized like even then like teaching also is a great job, but it doesn't necessarily have all the stability in the world. And I had friends who were getting laid off and friends who couldn't find work and all this stuff. So at that point, it's kind of like,
And
well,
education is going to change with AI too.
yeah, everything. So yeah, I think it's more about finding what you love and committing to it and knowing that everything will change. But but I think that has to lead your decision making, you know.
Absolutely. And one last question I have for you is you released a song last month that came out. Tell us a little bit about it.
So we have the 20th anniversary of our first record, Robbers and Cowards, is coming out later this year. And with that, it's kind of interesting. We were anticipating this 20th anniversary, and we wanted to do a reissue of it with a lot more artwork and live stuff. And then we kind of realized like we had these 4 songs that when we were making the first record, going in to make it, and we whittled down those songs, but we have these other 4 songs that didn't even get recorded then to be contenders for the record. So we decided to record them now, several months ago, as these old but new songs. And that was really, really fun.
Creative experience.
Yeah, it was a really different creative experience because we got to. Most of the lyrics were kind of half done, and I got to like enter into the space of my 20 years younger self, and especially these songs because there's a couple. 2 of them are really specific stories about friends of that time, in our circle, and like it's just so personal and so of that moment that to finish these songs and record them now and release them now, it just was like it just felt great. Yeah, it's really cool.
I always like to also close with a fireball question, not a fireball shot, although I am 21 now, so some in-person interviews, if I'm able to bring alcohol, I might have to actually do a fireball shot. But my fireball question for you is, what is the longest you've ever traveled on an airplane to perform at a show? Because you've done a lot of traveling.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it'd have to be Australia.
At least it's a direct flight, where I'd have to go from here to LA and then LA to Australia.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's a long one.
Indianapolis, where I'm based now.
Yeah.
So 13 hours from LAX to, what city was it?
Probably Sydney is where we would go. Yeah.
And have you been to the Sydney Opera House?
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. Several times been to Australia. Good shows there.
Well, I appreciate you doing the podcast. And you're a Dodgers fan?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, my grandpa, he had been a fan since Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. And and his brother was a Yankees fan. So he was old enough, unfortunately his passed, he was old enough to remember the Yankees and Dodgers rivalry when it was the Brooklyn Dodgers. So I'll say it to you, go Dodgers.
Yes, go Dodgers. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Nathan.
Yeah, man. Thank you.